Hey friend, I'm Erin. Welcome to my channel. I am a military spouse and teacher turned photographer, and I love helping fellow Milspouse photographers build businesses that thrive despite frequent moves. I am back today with another episode in our series highlighting fellow photographers in the Photographers Changing Stations community, and am joined by Christa Paustenbaugh, who I am so excited to chat with. Christa, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I am really excited to talk to you because you are on the other side, if you will. And yeah, right? I think there's a lot of us that are still in the active duty life who are like, what is this going to be like once retirement hits or once we separate? And so I'm really excited to just chat through your experience and see how things have gone and all the things you've learned along the way as you've run your business both in the active duty days and now in the retirement days. So to kind of kick us off, would you start maybe with a little introduction? Tell us like who you are, where you're from, where you are currently, where you've been, those kind of things.
Sure. So Christa Paustenbaugh and grew up in the Midwest forever and ever. And once I graduated college and got married to my Marine at the time husband, um, then set off the adventure of moving every 1 to 3 years, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I actually started off as a social worker and
Okay.
did school social work and did that for quite a while. And then we moved overseas to Japan for a duty station. And as military spouses who are watching this know, though jobs there are few and far between
Okay.
um, in that realm. And so I was like, it's beautiful here. I've always loved photography, gave it a whirl, and thought if I hate it, I'll shut it down.
Sure.
And no harm, no foul. Yeah, I still have the camera. But I loved it. So yeah, so we've been all over the place. Started the business in Japan, went to where did I go? Oh, Rhode Island, back overseas, then to California, and then now he is retired 2 years, and we're in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Awesome. Which hopefully we'll get to
Yeah,
meet when I get out there. We won't be too far
I
away
hope
when I'll be in
so.
the Springs. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's actually closer. We've been down there a couple of times, and I was like, oh, it's closer than I thought
Yeah,
um,
that's awesome. I
to
know.
get
I
down.
always think about the states out west being so big. Like when we were assigned in
Yeah,
Montana, I was like, this place is gigantic.
yeah,
And so you never really know how close two cities together are going to
right.
be.
Yeah, until you actually do it, and then I was like,
Yeah,
oh, it's not. Barring any traffic, then it's
for
not that bad.
sure. For sure. So
Yeah.
your most recent move then was from California to Fort Collins, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what has it looked like building a business somewhere where you know you're not leaving? I like can't fathom what that's going to look like.
It's it's strange still, just because it's been 2 years, which means in military life is we're at that mark that we're thinking about where we're going next.
Sure.
So I think trying to do the mental gymnastics of we're not going anywhere next. Like we're
Yeah.
we're staying. I don't have to think about moving the business again, um, and we're staying here. And so it's kind of coming here. I was like, okay, well, this is more. I'm in the marathon versus the sprint
Sure.
of because when you get somewhere and you're only there 2 or 3 years, you're like, I gotta go, I gotta take
Yes.
everything that's my way, and I have to do it. And now here, I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna be here. It's fine. If you don't want to do that job, you don't have to do
Yeah.
it.
I feel
You can,
like the opportunity for repeat clients will become so much more of a normal thing. Whereas in the past, so I've run my business now in 3 states in 4 years, and I'm coming up on 4 states in 5 years. Like you're saying, it's wild. And anytime I get a repeat client, I'm like, oh my gosh, they booked me again. Like this is amazing. And I hope to get
yes,
to a point where like that feels more like the norm than not.
yeah,
But like you're saying, being only there 2 years, I guess that makes sense that you're kind of like right on the cusp of like, oh, it's time to go. Oh, we're actually not
right,
going.
yeah. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Um, and other spouses had told us that they're like, no, you'll get to that 2 or 3 year mark, and you kind of like get the itch, or you're
Yeah.
like, we should be getting rid of stuff, or we should be. And so they're like, just go on a big trip and it's fine. And
It kind of resets
it,
the timer for you.
it, yeah. and then, or do something to your house. And then you're like, okay, we're good. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll reset from there.
That's funny. What made you guys
Yeah.
pick Fort Collins as the place to retire?
Um, so we knew we didn't want to stay in California, as beautiful as it is. And, you talk about repeat clients. That was the longest time we've been anywhere, is 5 years,
Okay.
which is unheard of, as you know, in our
Sure.
life. Um, and so I was getting repeat clients there, but it just, um, we knew it didn't feel like home,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's so expensive. and
Yes.
and we were not smart and did not buy a home when we went there, because we thought we were only there a couple of years. And anyway, that was a long way of saying we knew we didn't want to stay there.
Yeah.
And our oldest daughter had started college in Boulder.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so we started making trips out and looking. We had driven through Fort Collins a couple of times. And so we're like, well, let's keep going and make sure that it's kind of the fit that we think
Sure.
that we want. Yeah, so it checked the boxes that we wanted. And yeah, so here we are.
That's
And our
awesome.
youngest is
Yeah.
down the street at CSU. So
Oh, cool. You got him so
yeah,
close by.
yeah. So win-win.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Had you
Yeah.
been stationed anywhere previously that have had a lot of mountains for photography?
No,
Okay, what's
no.
that been like? We when we were in Albuquerque, we lived in the foothills of the Sandias, and I remember lighting being really tricky there. That was where I first started. So I'd
Yeah.
love to know how that has been for you.
It's the it's the opposite tricky of beach, which is
Okay.
where I came from, which
Yeah.
well, kind of opposite but similar. Yeah, just getting the timing right, because I was
Okay.
so used to when everyone wants the beach, especially on the West Coast, like you shoot until sunset.
Sure.
And but now it's just been that learning curve of some mountains I lose light earlier, some of them I don't.
Yeah.
And it's that's it's been a learning
I
situation.
feel like the location scouting has to be a little more deliberate in terms of like what time you're
Yes.
visiting and what time of year you're there. Like there's a lot more to that.
Yes. And some places get more snow than others do,
Sure.
and some get more wind than others do. And yeah, that's been a learning,
Do you
and still it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that you have like the same few spots that you'll take families if you're going to do a session in the mountains? Or I feel like in my experience, Colorado's like a giant playground and there's probably a bazillion
Yeah.
places that you could go. Like, how do you manage that?
Yeah. So I mean, I barely haven't even scratched the surface, because there's just so many nooks and crannies. Like even
Yeah.
because we live about an hour and 20 minutes from Rocky Mountain National Park.
Okay.
Um, and even there, I'd go to the same couple of spots, but I'm like, I know if I would just take a day and
Yeah.
continue to drive around, there's a thousand other spots that I could use. But the photographer community has been amazing
Oh,
here.
good.
And yeah, so as I was moving here, I was fortunate that I had a session scheduled before I even
Love
moved.
that.
And yeah, so I reached out to one of the photographers and I was like, ah, help me. I know don't give me your sacred spots, but do you have one that everybody uses? And
Sure.
she's she's a godsend. And anytime I ask, she's like, nope, go here. The lighting's great. I use this spot. It's amazing. Here's some example photos.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So I do tend to go to the same spots, and kind of like when I was in California, the ones that get more traction are the spots that everybody wants to go to.
Gotcha.
So, the couple of cliff beaches that I would shoot at in California, everybody wants to go there. And now there's a couple of spots here that, as people have seen them, then they're like, well, I want that spot. I'm like, okay, well,
Great. I can
then I
do
won't
that again.
scout. It's fine. Go there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
know when the
making it
sun
easier for
sets.
me.
I know when I'm going to lose it. Here's where you park. I'll find you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I tend to go back to the same, very
That's
similar spots.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about cell service? Is that an issue? You just said I'll find you. Like, do you ever have issues not being able to get in touch with clients when you get to a spot?
So I figured out that there's one spot in particular that it's not in the mountains, but you can get like a little bit of a mountain view, and
Okay.
it's as I drive. drive through the canyon, pardon me, to get to the mountains. And that spot, because you're in the canyon, is zero
Mm-hmm.
cell service. So I'm very specific on, you will turn left,
Yeah.
then you will find the first parking spot. I will be there. If you're going to be late, you must tell me before you get to the canyon,
Yes, or you
because
won't be able to tell me.
yeah. So, um, there's a couple of those spots that I have to be very specific on.
Sure.
You have to follow my directions
Yeah.
because I will not find you
Yeah, that
otherwise.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So that's been a new, because at the coast there's just always
Right. You'd never think
service
of it otherwise. Yeah.
for the
I
most part.
literally just had the thought as we were talking about mountains. I was like, wait a second. Like, I've been skiing in
Yeah.
Colorado and you can't, there's places
No.
along the drive where they have no service. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's definitely something that, I try, especially because I still get a lot of tourists here,
Okay.
and definitely tell them, I'm like, you will not find me if you don't follow these directions, and I
Sure.
can't
And that
I
I can
can't
help
get to
you.
you. Right. And then, like, you're leaving tomorrow, you're flying back.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. Yeah. So far, haven't had an issue yet.
That's good.
But
Do you
very
find
deliberate.
that your client base is a lot of tourists or locals, military families? How does that all kind of come together for you?
Uh, so not really military families, because we're not, the closest base is Cheyenne, and that's
Yeah.
like 50 minutes, 50
Okay.
to 60 minutes. So it's not far, but
Yeah.
it's it's not
Not
super
super
close.
close.
Yeah, so most of them, I'm still running about 60 to 70% tourists,
Okay.
and then 30 to 40% local, because I'm slowly building up the local
Sure.
clientele. Um, so especially starting from May to middle of October, it's a lot of tourists
That
um,
makes sense. It's a
coming.
great
Yeah.
vacation spot.
Oh, it is. And I'm like, you have to document it here because,
Yes.
especially if you're coming from somewhere that's flat or the coast or just the desert. I'm like, you have to get photos here. You
Yeah,
don't have
there's
that
no
where you
question.
right. Yeah.
And my
So it
pictures are
must
going to be better than your iPhone pictures. So please, let's do
right.
this.
And you're going to be in it,
Yes.
versus
Yes.
kids go stand over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
that's
yeah, so very
awesome.
grateful that I get quite a few tourists that are coming.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
Um, I'm interested, like business wise, what would you say, if anything, that you've kind of learned from previous assignments that you decided I'm going to try this differently now that I'm putting down roots somewhere, versus just kind of figuring it out on the go? Like you were saying before, when you're moving a couple of years, you're just like, I got to get started. I got to find people. It's got to do this. Like, what has
right.
that looked like? Is there anything you're like, no, I'm deliberately going to do this differently?
I think the first thing I deliberately did was not give discounts,
Okay,
because
awesome.
yeah, and I didn't do it a ton at the last duty
Mm-hmm.
station, but I did do it a little bit in the beginning, just because
Yeah,
I've
trying to get started.
decided I have to start shooting in these spots so I can show it to other people.
Yep.
And whereas here, I was very fortunate enough that I was established in the other spot, that people found me coming
Mm-hmm.
here, and so I was able to go ahead and start showing those places. And so that was the big thing, was I was like, I'm not doing like discounted, and I still do model calls, just because, as we all know, that fuels our creativity.
Yeah, totally.
Um, yeah, so but I was doing a lot of model calls before, just so I had something to shoot.
Gotcha.
And now I just do model calls because I'm like,
Like it fills your
oh,
soul.
it does. Like, we live on a lake, and I really want to shoot a senior girl in a canoe, and so I'm gonna do that this year. Like, that's
Yeah.
something that I
Well,
want
that's
to do.
fun.
Yeah, so it's those kinds of things that I was a little more deliberate on, sticking to pricing, and
Mm-hmm.
sticking to what I like to shoot. After 10 years, I'm like, I know I like to shoot, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a birthday party, and I'm not going to do, and it's no disrespect. Like, I've done
No.
it, and I know I hate it. So when people reach out, I'm like, I know someone that can do that for you,
Yes.
but I
Yeah.
can't do that for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just a little more deliberate on those things, keeping to what I want to shoot, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, pricing.
That's awesome. And honestly, that's got to be super fulfilling to know, like, I've hit this point in my career where I'm confident enough to say no, and I don't have to worry, like, oh my gosh, am I going to fill my calendar? Am I going to bring in enough? Like,
Right.
it's just like, this is what I
Right.
can do, and I'm going to do it. And that's awesome.
Right. It just is.
Yeah,
So yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's still in the like thick of all of the moving, like me, for example? Hopefully, I only have one more, maybe two. We'll see. But
I would hope
um,
so. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, just the thing that helped me the most, and it's hard to do because I some services are better at giving you um, the announcement of where you're going sooner
sure.
than other services. We happen to be in one that was not always great about giving you a great timeline, but being as proactive as you can prior to
Hmm.
moving. Um, and that's, and it, as you know, it's a giant ball of wax, but just getting those geotags, start tagging places, start reaching out to people like, hey, I'm moving. I would love to be able to shoot a family in the mountains. You know, like when you get here,
Yeah.
can can we do a quick session just so I at least have 5 photos
Hmm.
to show? So that helped me coming here, and then
Hmm.
also helped me going to California was just taking that 4 or 5 months prior to moving and just really honing in on changing things up on websites and social media and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a hard balance knowing like I want to keep booking here for a little bit longer, but I have
right.
to start shifting ahead of time. Like you got to figure out how to be really clear about how to talk to both people at the same time. And that can be
Yes.
hard, but I hear you. I found the same thing with our most recent move to Ohio. I had my first session booked before we got here, and that is like such a win. You're like, okay, I did something right. This is good.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's a fine line between I want to give the current place my best,
Yeah.
but then at the same time, like I got to keep things rolling, especially if you, for those that know that they're only there 2 or 3 years, like
Yeah.
if you take the first year just to get established and you're like, well, then I only have a year.
Right, right.
And
And the last 6 months, I'm going to
so,
be trying to get ready for the next place with usually like a solid
right.
6 months in this place. Like that's overwhelming.
And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's overwhelming for sure. So, yeah, and just trying to keep, it's hard. I'm not the most organized person in the world, but just trying to keep things a little making myself notes like, okay, it's April, so now I need to start doing these things, changing geotags and
Sure.
let me start reaching out to my friend that I know that's in Colorado Springs and
Mm-hmm.
see what groups I can get into. Oh, that was the other helpful thing. Now that I think of it, getting in the Facebook groups,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're moving to a spot that has a photographer groups.
Yeah.
Um, all the places that I've been, luckily, have had those and
Yeah.
have had really good camaraderie, which is,
That's
as we know in
awesome.
this business, sometimes be
Yeah. Not so
not
much.
great. Yeah. So that would be the other thing is just kind of not only getting in your neighborhood groups or the military spouse groups, but
Mm-hmm.
seeing if there's what photographer groups there are because they'll talk about locations. And so
Totally.
you're taking notes like, oh, they said this place is great and this one's great. And I'll go check those out as soon as I get there.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually
so,
found kind of, I think most people, when they think of the spouses groups for the different bases, they think about trying to find clients there. But I had really good luck here asking in that group for places people had had family photos done.
yeah,
We talk about, photographers technically sometimes gatekeeping locations or whatever.
yeah,
Families who've had their pictures taken don't do that. And so I actually
no,
got more recommendations of where I should do this from the spouses group as opposed to using that group to try to find people, which it's also like
right,
kind of a sneaky way to tell people you're a photographer.
right,
But that was a really helpful thing that I found here too. But you're exactly right. Those Facebook groups can be great. They can be not so great,
right.
but if you find the right ones, they can be really helpful.
Yeah, yeah, they really can. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I would love to switch gears and talk a little bit about the Christa who's not a photographer. I think one of the reasons there was so much interest in doing this series is because, while yes, we're all Milspouses and we're all photographers, we're all so much more than that too. So I would love to hear, what kind of things you like to do for fun, your family, maybe best place you've been stationed, those kind of things.
oh, awesome. So we as we transitioned here to retired life, we also transitioned to empty nester life as well. So
Whew.
that's been, you know, we figuring things out.
Yeah.
It's all been good. It's all been good, but it's
Okay.
just very much like, oh, it's a random Wednesday and we want to go here and
We
do
can.
this, and there's no school issues or yeah, and we can. So no, we love hiking. We do lots and lots and lots of hiking here. My family loves skiing and snowboarding.
Okay.
I can't ski and I hate it, but
Oh
I
no.
love the atmosphere. So
Yeah.
I will go with them, and they actually get great valet service because I drop them off
Lucky
and
them.
go pick them up, and I'll
Yeah.
meet them up on the mountain sometimes. And yeah, so I love the atmosphere. I'm terrible at skiing and I really hate
Gotcha.
it. And
Where do you guys like to go?
so their favorite spots are probably Steamboat Springs,
Okay.
um, Copper Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they like A Basin because you can ski. It's open the longest, so you can ski all the way. This year they skied. You could ski through mid-June.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I mean it was slushy snow, but they had
Well,
enough
sure,
snow.
but there's still snow. Wow.
Yeah, there's still snow. Um, yeah, so we do. My husband and I do lots of bike rides, go to
Okay.
breweries.
The fun
Fort Collins
Colorado
is
stuff.
yeah, it's the craft brewery capital of the U.S. So we
Oh,
do
cool.
that, and yeah, so um, it just we like it here because it reminded us a lot of when we were stationed in Germany,
Okay.
and people are outside all year long, and it's not a you're inside from November to April because it's cold
Yeah.
and
Like the neighbors all of a
snowy.
sudden start emerging, and you're like, oh, there's people on our street again. This is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
nice. We just
yeah,
experienced that.
yeah. Whereas here, they're like, no, as long as it's not super windy and a blizzard, like I'm
Yeah.
going out. Like
Yeah.
we're
That's
gonna
great.
go and walk downtown. So anything outside. We live on a lake, so we like to go out there and paddleboard. And we have one daughter that lives outside the state now, and then one
Okay.
that's here. So spending time with them. We do lots of game nights, and pick on my husband because he's the only male in the
That's
house.
awesome.
So
He probably
poor
deserves
guy.
it, right?
He wholeheartedly deserves it. He gives it back to him.
He owns
So
that role well.
he owns it. Yes, he's a very good girl dad.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, it sounds like Colorado is a great spot for you guys for the different hobbies and things that you have. We are definitely looking forward to getting back into hiking and skiing and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff more regularly, being out there. I don't know what you do
Yeah.
out there if you don't like those things.
Yeah. I've always wondered, and I do see people that will post about that. Like, I don't like hiking and I don't like skiing. And of course, there's always the smart aleck that replies, like, why are you living here
What are
if you
you
don't
doing?
like those things? But most people are pretty helpful. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's, like here in the when it's really, really cold, there's like this indoor pinball uh, store.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
yeah, so my daughter has gone there when they have friends visiting. And so there's, enough indoor stuff
Yeah.
that can be done. But yeah, it's very rare that I think I've met those people who are like, no, I don't like anything else.
I'm just kind of an indoorsy
Like,
person,
hopefully you
okay?
find something. Yeah. I'm like, hopefully you find your thing
Yeah.
because it's a very outdoorsy spot.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's fun. I'm glad
yeah.
it's such a good fit for you guys.
Yeah. It's been good. We came into it with we think it's forever, but we're not going to say it's forever
Sure.
because
You
you
never
never
know.
know what might happen. Like if our kids move really far away and I miss
Hmm.
them, then we may follow them. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a for quite a while
It's a great
spot.
spot for now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, for sure, for
Well,
sure.
I love to wrap these calls up with the same question for everybody. And it's a little bit different for you now that you guys probably won't be moving somewhere else. But I love to ask people if they could be stationed anywhere for 2 years, where they would like to go and why. I would love to know for you, like, would that be a different spot than you were able to go? Or was there someone somewhere in your career that you were like, oh, this was it. This was our favorite spot.
We loved, and all four of us have said that we would go back to Germany in a heartbeat.
Okay.
And I would, I mean, currently I would hesitate to go because my kids are here. They wouldn't go with me.
Sure, sure.
But um but if they were here, like I would drop everything tomorrow and go. We had the best time. It was great traveling.
Okay.
Um it was just awesome for our family and
How old were your
we wouldn't have
kids
to go
when
back
you were
to
there?
the same spot. Our kids were, when we arrived, they were 14 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 14, 11.
So old
Um,
enough to like really be able to bounce around and travel and not worry about naps and snacks and all of those kind
right.
of
Yeah.
things.
No diaper bags, no naps.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
even, pack their own backpack.
Amazing.
And so I hope you have enough underwear because you packed
You
it
did it.
and we're going. Um, so no, they were at really great ages that we could go all the time,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
it's much less expensive there, yeah, to travel. So
I have heard
it
that.
was nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's very
Yes.
cool. Very cool.
Mm, yeah.
Well, I would love for you to just wrap up here, tell other people who are listening where they can find you if they want to connect with you, if they're going to any of the same places that you have been. And yeah, we can wrap up with that.
Awesome. Well, my website is just my name, ChristaPaustenbaugh.com, and Facebook is, you know what, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's Facebook.com/Christa Paustenbaugh Photography. It's all
I
these
feel
things
like
that you don't
your
think about
name
until.
is unique enough that someone should be able to find you with your name, right?
Right. If you Google my name, it's all going to pop up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my Instagram's the same. It's Instagram, and it's just Christa_Paustenbaugh.
Perfect.
Yeah. I figured with a last name like I have, I'll just
Yes.
go with it.
I like to
And
tease my husband that I became way less unique when I married a Thompson because my maiden name was much more unique.
yeah, yes.
But
Yeah.
so it goes.
Yeah. No fun name for mine because I'm like, if they can pronounce my last name, then that's,
Then that's a win.
there we
Yeah.
go. That's what it's going to be. So
Oh my gosh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting, for the little peek into retired life. I love having you and your perspective in our community and was just so glad to do this. So thank you.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.